say?
Indy.
Excuse me,
Fuck's sake, I feel exactly the same. We are back here at the airport and gotta get a plane. And I suppose it's not the end of our trip, it's just the start of another adventure. And we're off to China. What do you think of the trip though, Indy?
It's been lovely.
When do you want to come back to Thailand?
As soon as possible.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to go home for a nice, see mum and dad, mum, and then come straight back, I reckon. Be the best thing. It's hard to believe the time goes so quick, but it really is eventually leaving. And yeah, c'est la vie.
There's nothing to say really. It's awful, isn't it?
Say that, oh that's Indy, Chinese tourists, the chaos in this airport. I've seen them arguing with all the like checking people. They're walking about with flags, being led here, there and everywhere. And they're just giving them instructions now on how not to get robbed in Bangkok. And actually, it's unbelievable because it's actually the safest country you could imagine. But yeah, but anyway, we successfully checked in. And it's clear to me that I suppose Chinese people haven't really been travelling that much for a long time. So yeah, but even before that, because it's like a situation there, so it's quite a big thing for them to go to a different country, I suppose. But yeah, the check-in went well. A really nice receptionist called, I can't remember, but anyway, she was really nice and really friendly, and we got some nice seats sitting together, and it all seemed quite straightforward really. She took a lot of care over our bags, so hopefully they will turn up this time, unlike on Qatar Airlines. And we're now going for a pre-flight meal in the airport street food point, which is really cheap, really nice. It's been one of our other videos. I'd like to point out about Qatar, generally a brilliant airline, and the bags did turn up 24 hours later, straight to our hotel. Good afternoon, Indy.
Good afternoon.
So, tonight we are taking a flight on, we think, Shanghai Airlines, operated by Eastern...
No. Eastern operated by Shanghai.
So not this again.
We ain't got a clue.
Every time we go on a flight, it's operated by someone else other than the airline. We're thinking we're flying with Shanghai Airlines.
Going to China Pudong International Airport. No, and it's China Eastern operated by Shanghai. And then going home with China Eastern.
Right, well, I'm sure we'll find out as we go along. What airport are we flying to in China?
The code is PVG, so it's Pudong International Airport.
Yeah, which is where? China's a big country. Anyway, as you can see, follow the road to see where it goes and all that. And our channel, The Hidden World, we don't even know where we're going these days. So if you're looking for good advice, maybe this is not the place to come. But it's going to be a bit of a review of the airline. When we find out what it is, I'm sure the title will give it away. But we'll see you soon. We're going to check in. So we found the correct check-in counter. Didn't have their long flight late number up. Absolutely massive queue and chaotic at best. And but we are getting there. Okay, so give yourself plenty of time to check in. Bangkok airport is not the same as 10 years ago when it was actually quite sedate. It seems to be busier every time we come and more disorganised. So we decided to come back outside the airport for one last gasp of that smell that you get walking out from the aircon, and you kind of get like about 10 feet away from the door, and all of a sudden it's like Thailand. It's like that warm shower room kind of humid smell. Absolutely bloody fantastic. And although
it's not actually that good for you because the air pollution is quite hot.
Yeah, but it just smells good. Now, what we didn't say at the start of this video, yes, we are flying home, but this actual video is going to be about our recollections from the trip. Just things that we've noticed that have changed, things that we've enjoyed, really to tell you why we love to travel to Thailand and the Cambodia. It's not been the longest trip we've ever had, but you know, we're not ready to go home as usual, and there's still so many amazing things about Thailand that you don't find in other countries. We were just actually talking to a couple in the airport cafe from Singapore, and they actually confirmed the same thing to us. They find Singapore a bit dull and boring. I mean, they were older, they must have been 65, 70, and they said they come here just because it's so lively. So anyway, so we're just about to board the plane, and I have to say, apart from the Chinese people going mad at the check-in, the whole process has been really nice. The staff have been lovely so far, so all good. So we've boarded the airplane, and it actually feels like going back about 30 years. It's very basic, old plane, and see, no TVs, but we are only 3 to 4 hours to Shanghai, so all's not lost, but it does feel very dowdy and old-fashioned, but as long as it gets us to where we're going, that's okay. So they've got screens, the old style flip down ones. I've not seen this for years. I've really not seen this for years. I'm going to headphones anyway, so it doesn't really matter. What do you think of this aeroplane, Indy, so far? We haven't even taken off yet. Do you want to actually take off?
Not really, I don't want to take off, although I'm enjoying the jazz in my ears.
Although I went on the plane once and it caught fire within 10 minutes of leaving Bangkok, which is a real bonus because we ended up back in Bangkok for the night in a really nice hotel. So obviously I was straight out down the old plaza.
Loser.
So it does look like we've got food and drinks, although I'm not sure there's any alcoholic drinks. It doesn't look really like it. We can what? Well, after 3 weeks in Thailand and Cambodia, that's not surprising, really, is it? No? Well, we'll see what we get. So I was going to say, here's the dinner. I was going to say, when we unveil this, what's in the Jiffy, was it? Jiffy in the... Geology and Jiffy does what's in the bag. Well, this is like what's in the box. And just for Gordon, my friend, have a look at his Geology and Jiffy channel if you can. We are going to open this, and we have rice. I suppose you'd expect that in China.
Oh my god, the racism.
I'm not a school teacher anymore, so I don't care. And yeah, looks like quite nice actually. Looks like a Hong Kong style chicken and rice. So all good. And you've also got these little salads, which look rather nice. What's in them, and some green sort of like dessert. So no wine, Indy, but they did offer, well they didn't offer, I asked for, and I got beer, so I got a Singtel, and Indy asked for one as well, and she said, yeah, okay, but in the end, he got his orange juice.
So we've just finished our food. How do you think it was?
Yeah, that was alright. Tasty, fine, which is the main thing. Indy obviously did eat his salad.
I don't know, for me, I really enjoyed the food. It was nice Chinese food, which and I really enjoyed it. So personally, I shall give it a nice 3 1/2.
So this is the chaos of the toilet queue. Goes right back down the plane behind me, and yeah, it's quite funny really. It's a bit of a packed plane, but one person wants to go, everybody wants to go. So, this is the toilet, as big as it is. Absolutely no room, there's me. And it's like a plane from yesterday here.
飞机在车辆过程中确认是否停止有些颠簸，您不用担心，务必在座位上坐好，安全带做好。
We are experiencing some turbulence as the cabin crew would say. So yeah, let's drop dive and get some.
Thank you.
John, stop shaking the camera. It's not that bad.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's quite wobbly. This is it. So we've arrived in Shanghai Airport and Pudong, and it's absolutely freezing. So here we are in arrivals and transfers. Oh, well, it's actually warmer in here at least. So quite pleased. Well, one trip Thailand and Indy's turning to Michael Jackson. Don't know if you found the chimpanzee over there or not. Yeah, Bubbles, the chimp. Anyway, back to the video. Back to the video. This is the airport, and it's sort of functional rather than pretty. And looks a bit old-fashioned and dowdy, to be honest.
This walkway's quite not dirty, I'd say, but sort of
well used.
yeah.
And it was quite interesting. The women on the gates had big black overcoats on, and sort of herding the people about. Couldn't film that bit, obviously, but we've now got stickers on for rapid transfer. And yeah, it's unbelievable getting off the plane into the cold. I think that's what we're going back to England to suffer after weeks of 30-degree weather in Thailand.
At least when you're going to UAE or Dubai, well, no, it's the same thing. At least when you're going to UAE or Qatar, you're going into the warm. So you're sort of still experiencing the warm before you get into the horrible cold.
Oh well, I suppose it prepares us, don't it?
You're going from cold to cold.
So, this airport, gotta say, that security check was brutal. On Andy, they actually just go open, take out, and they're like ordering, they're like stirring their to attention. It's really, it's just like watching 1984. Shocking, because it's very unlike Beijing airport. But yeah, we're off to get the second half of the flight. First half of the flight wasn't too bad. Plane was like a 1960s Boeing. Still had like smoking stuff on it and stuff like that. But very dated and cramped and quite claustrophobic, if I'm honest, and I don't really worry about things like that. But it was only 4 hours, and we'll see what the next flight will be like. So this is the airport toilets in Shanghai, and really quite grubby. Oh, there's India having a wee. That won't be on the video. Anyway, as I say, it's like almost halfway being back to England, but I can't believe how unfriendly the customs or whatever they were, bag checkers were. Very like cold pan. And there's nothing, there's no cafes, no bars, no nothing. It's almost too much to cope with after the life of Bangkok. What is clear, Chinese people do kind of like to be led. We've seen them in Thailand walk along with people with umbrellas, kind of like sheep. I mean, you kind of see how this airport is, you can kind of see why. It's it's because almost like they're directed to do everything that they do. But I've never been in an airport, and I've been in at least 70, that feels so oppressive with so few people in it. To add more what I said about Chinese people being led, I don't mean it to be rude to Chinese people in general, because I know we've met a lot of Chinese people that do their own thing and are quite independent. But there's even like a loudspeaker telling people to make sure they hold onto the handrail on the escalator, make sure they don't stand in twos.
It's pretty military.
You can hear it now. What? To add to that, in the announcement, like, I don't know if you can actually hear it in the background, but it just goes round and round telling you must take care of elderly people and all things like that. And it's almost like the film 1984 was in the book. All through that film they have like announcements, and it is exactly that same feeling being here. It's very odd, and it's almost like people are scared to talk
And think as well.
At most airports you'll see people with their phones out and whatever, and I know we have, but then, you know, we're from the hidden world, we do what we like most places. But there was actually everyone else looking, even the tourists, because we're going to London obviously, there's a few British people, but even they kind of look really, really controlled immediately and nervous. Luckily the plane for this half, which takes us about 12.5 hours, is actually much nicer. As you can see, Indy's Police, he's got TV screens, it's actually much more modern, looks like a completely new or refurbished plane, so happy days. So Indy's finally happy. We got a nice seat, lots of leg room.
Nice new TV screen. Well, I don't know how good the TV screens are, but I'm sure they can't be that bad.
We'll show you them.
Sky Entertainment. I'm not sure if it's actual Sky TV.
No, it's not Sky TV, but we'll show you them in a minute. But yeah, it's such a contrast. We're going to state this now because I don't want it to seem like a really negative video. The first half was an adequate plane. It felt dowdy, felt old, felt tired, and the airport I've been quite negative about, so it'd be unfair to not balance it up with this plane. Seems really nice and modern, and it's such a weird feeling, like we've come from colourful, lively Bangkok, got on a plane which suddenly seems really out of date, and then we've flown, you know, and been given one drink on the plane, or one beer and one soft drink. Flown 4 hours, got off at the airport, and all of a sudden it's freezing cold. Everyone's got overcoats on. It's now raining, and the airport was like something out of 1984.
One thing I want to bring up as well, this plane, surprisingly, for such a long flight, is an A330 and not a A380 plane.
Why is that, pilot? You obviously know what you're talking about.
Well, A330 planes are obviously smaller than the A380, biggest passenger plane in the world. So, and it's a long distance. It's a 12-hour flight.
Yeah, it's a 12-hour flight. So we're really pleased that we've got screens. I mean, like, you never used to have them. I used to fly to India and everything, but once you've got them, you kind of look forward to it a little bit. But yeah, balancing up, the contrasts were so huge of like getting out of the aeroplane into the freezing cold of the airport, and then seeing people in the coats, then actually listening to all the announcements and being hurried. The staff in the airport were really, really rude. So it's an even bigger contrast yet again to walk onto this plane and the air hostesses are really suddenly friendly, and it's like coming back into the modern world again. Very, very odd experience. Let's see how the rest of the flight goes.
Good for you, baby.
Well, we'll see. So here is the meal on the second part of the flight. All looks a bit better presented than the first part. Actually looks very nice. And get a nice bag of peanuts. Myself a beer. They haven't got wine, but oh well. That's mad at. This looks very nice.
So we got our second meal. First meal I actually missed because I was asleep and felt sick. But I don't know, hopefully this one will be nice. This is pork, rice and a toothpick. Let's have a go at it. Nice plastic utensils. Got a, what's it, spork in it. Yeah.
Got to say, this breakfast, which has been a breakfast meal, doesn't look half as nice as the first meal on the plane. But overall, service is a bit very wooden. It's not friendly or warm in any way. And I've had like on a whole flight 2 beers and 2 coffees, which you really had to try hard to get. Yeah. So this particular meal, although it says pork, it's like little round rolls of bacon. Tastes nice enough. It's a little bit like kind of uninspiring, but you know, one strange thing they do is give you the roll after you finished eating. But yeah, it is what it is. But I'm really not sure if the air hostesses are robots, because beyond, they say the same phrase that absolutely everyone, and they don't. You can't cope if you ask a question at all. It's almost like going to overload. Really interesting to see. We've arrived back in England, UK.
Gatwick Airport, LGW.
Yeah, after 12.5 hours on the second part of the flight. Yeah. Got to say, the plane was much nicer, really modern. However, what?
I don't know, I found the choice of films to be limited, and the entertainment system had a lack of anything really. I don't know.
I do wonder if they've just installed it, because it was really a new plane, and maybe they haven't loaded all the films on yet. There was no games, and there was only about 7 or 8 films. Not a really great selection, but I mean, that's not everything. But I did find the stewards on the plane, they're just so like mechanical, like almost to the point of you think, you know, you hear about all these robots in China. Started wondering if they were like real people. It was like, hello, you want pork rice? You want pasta? End of conversation. You want coffee? There was like zero personality. Just strange. Just very strange sort of feeling. But I mean, the title of this vlog was whether to avoid East China and Shanghai Airlines. I would say avoid it, to be honest. It wasn't terrible, it's perfectly adequate.
It wasn't inadequate.
It got us where we want to go.
It's functional.
I did feel stopping for travelling 4 hours, then stopping and having 12 hours on top felt much longer than perhaps 2 7-hour legs on another airline like Qatar. I mean, I'd say the Middle Eastern airlines mostly beat China by miles for service. There's things like the only drinks on offer were beer, fruit juices, coffee, tea. There's no spirits, no wine, and they weren't exactly generous in giving them out. But overall, it's functional. It gets you where you've got to go, and it was interesting. Interesting stopping off in Shanghai. So,
guess we should end it there.
Yeah, maybe don't avoid it, but it's not a last resort. But there are other probably better options.
However, one thing to not avoid is to like and subscribe, share, tell all your friends, tell your nan, tell your granddad. See you in a bit.
See you next vlog.